Is this a season of victory or a season of failure? Is this a season of overcoming or a season of being in the prison of fear? Is this a moment where you feel momentum is on your side, or is this an example of the same old, same old? What is your life story saying right now? Where do you find yourself in the midst of these trials and tribulations? Do you feel that you're standing and leaning? Are you leaning on your beloved? Or are you falling down and playing victim to the prince of this age? Are you allowing the enemy's storylines to infiltrate your heart and captivate your mind? Are you allowing the enemy to tell you what kind of day that you're going to have? Are you allowing your people, places, and things to identify who you are? Are you allowing these winds and these waves that are coming against you in this very moment to steal your peace and prevent you from rest? Is this something that's taking place right now? And I want to say, if it is, God's got love for you. God's got mercy for you. And guess what? That's me a million times a day. We come in and out of these moments of standing confident, and yet the next moment we're falling in fear. We do. And I think it's a safe place to talk about this, because I haven't found anybody that I've truly walked in community with, at least yet, that just stays on a consistent, steady, conquering mentality. And what I'm not talking about is your external expression of life, because if you truly are walking with God, then there should be what is seen and what is visible as a steady and consistent conquering mentality. What I'm speaking of, beloved, is our thought life. What I'm speaking of, beloved, is our faith life. Notice I point to the heart, because faith lives in the heart. Faith is the walls and the tapestry of your heart. Faith is how we please God. Faith is my heart's connection to the reality of God. Faith is the soil of growth and intimacy. Faith is the standing and backbone of the new covenant believer. And faith is the comfort and the blanket in the middle of the storm. Jesus was snuggled up on that pillow in the belly of the boat when that storm was about to kill everybody in the eyes of the disciple. Notice I said in the eyes. So what storyline are your eyes selling you today? Because if you're looking at the wind and the waves, then just like Peter, you're going to begin to sink. You notice if you read that story in the gospel, it says that Peter had his eyes on Jesus. And when he had his eyes on Jesus, he was walking on the water. He got out of the boat of complacency. He got out of the boat of comfort. He got out of the boat of his past, of his carnal strengths, abilities, and wisdom. And he stepped onto the water, which represents the Spirit. And he walked towards Jesus. So right there's a nugget. If you're in the boat of your past, your abilities and your wisdom, your comforts and your complacency, then you're not walking towards Jesus. But if you're walking on the waters of fear and doubt and unbelief, if you're walking on the waters of trials and adversity and circumstance, then you're walking towards Jesus. But there's only one way you're going to be able to walk on these waters, beloved, and that is if you keep your eyes on Him. We all face adversity. We all face challenges. We all face situations. We all get tempted to be a variable in a circumstance. But God has invited you out onto the waters to defy the gravity of fear. Fear is trying to usher a gravity into your storyline right now that God never appointed for you. But the only way you're going to be able to maintain that gravity-free existence and walk on this water is if you keep your eyes on Jesus. And I want you to see that when he took his eyes off of Jesus and he began to look at the eyes of fear and look at the eyes of the storm, he began to sink. I need y'all to get this. If you were to go out into the lake right now on a boat and step onto the top of the water, what would happen? You wouldn't begin to sink. You would fall into the water. Peter didn't fall, so I want you to get this. This speaks of him being saved, being someone walking with Jesus. This speaks of him having a weak moment. He didn't fall and drowned, he began to sink. And as he began to sink, he made the right move. He reached out and grabbed the hand of Jesus. There is a hand in this storm right now. There's a hand in this moment. There's a hand in this storyline. God is trying to get you to build in the house of wisdom, build in the Spirit. He's trying to get you to build on the rock, because this rain is falling. This Matthew 7:25 rain is falling on you right now. But he's trying to build this house called wisdom, this house called life. He's trying to do it in the Spirit. He's trying to do it on the water. The foundation of Christ in the house of God that he's trying to build of faith is built on the water, because it's built in the Spirit. So as long as we stay in communion and we stay in relationship with God, then we continue to build on the water. But if we get our eyes off of the beloved, if we get our eyes off the Lamb, and we begin to look at the wind and the waves, if we begin to buy into the storylines of the storm, then we will begin to sink. We'll begin to sink. We will not sink, we will begin to sink. But as long as we grab a hold of Jesus, there's always a little bit of Jesus in every situation for you to grab a hold of. So I want to encourage you today. Let's find God in the moment. Find God in the situation. What's God trying to do right now? And let's get to his feet, and let's get back to his hand, and let's get back up on that water. Until tomorrow, y'all be blessed.